again, let me say welcome to another session of John Sports Corner on the SosoBone Media Network. And again, I'm going to say this, that we are extremely happy that we have set up a sports platform that represents our Caribbean community as well as the greater sports community. Because that's the feedback I've been getting from many people out there who are very happy that we can talk about sports without it being dominated by what other countries are doing and calling their main sports and really not paying too much attention to what's happening in any other parts of the world. So, John, you're breaking new ground in that regard. So let me say thank you so much. Because while you might have been doing this for years on the airwaves, through radio platforms, now you're doing it through the video channels on the Sosofat TV, where all your analysis and reporting is there for everyone to review and listen to or view at their convenience. So thank you, John. So let me say again, welcome to John Sports Corner.
Thank you so much, Trevor, and a very good afternoon to our listeners, to our viewers who may pick this up. Maybe it's good night, some places are good morning, but it's John's Sports Corner, and welcome. And, let me just remind you before we start that you may go to Winner Circle Sports in the SosoBone shop and purchase your choice of merchandise that's listed there, including the great Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee.
Yes.
And as I've said before, maybe a couple packets of the coffee would make a great Christmas gift, an unusual Christmas gift, in fact, for a loved one. Again, very good afternoon. It also Thanksgiving month.
Oh, yeah.
In another couple of weeks, I might say, it will be Thanksgiving. And, Trevor, can I just tell you a little Thanksgiving story before I start sports?
Yes, ma'am.
My first year in college in Virginia,
Uh-huh.
when Thanksgiving rolled around, one of my professors invited me to dinner.
Uh-huh.
Fresh out of Jamaica, and very particular as to what I eat. As I sat at the table, I quickly scanned the food to see what I would eat or would like.
Uh-huh.
And there it was, beetroot.
Okay.
I love beetroot.
Okay.
Turkey, of course, was there, among other things.
Uh-huh.
No rice and peas, however. But no matter, the beet was the issue, Trevor.
Mhm.
My first mouthful of the beet, I said to myself, uh-oh, this isn't beet. Much as it didn't tingle my taste buds, but out of courtesy, I ate it all.
Okay.
Found out later, it was my introduction to cranberry.
Yes, cranberry sauce.
But how it was presented, it was sliced up like beet. Looked
Oh,
like
yes.
beet,
Mhm.
And of course, that was my first Thanksgiving dinner here in the United States. Well, let's talk sports. And of course, as usual, I start with birthdays, as today, former Olympian out of Jamaica, Peter Matthews, celebrates a birthday tomorrow. Another world championship representative out of Jamaica and Olympian world representative, Jenny Russell, celebrates.
Mhm.
Another Olympian representative and world championship representative, Candice McLeod, celebrates on Friday. And a
Uh-huh.
former Jamaican athlete, now deceased, Adeline Mayer, of yesteryear, she would have celebrated a birthday on Friday too. On Saturday, our first world championship gold medalist, Bert Cameron celebrates a birthday.
Okay.
On Sunday, Natasha Morrison, athlete, Paula Thompson celebrates Nicole McLeod, Simone Edwards, and Winthrop Graham. On Monday, of course, a good friend of mine, former Jamaican national player, reggae boy, Neville Oxford, celebrates a birthday. Also, the great U.S. Track star of just recently, Alison Felix, will celebrate a birthday on
Aye,
Monday.
aye, aye.
Major development in track and field for Jamaica. The inaugural Grand Slam event for 2025 will be at the National Stadium April 4th through the 6th.
Mhm.
The announcement made by the league's founder and commissioner, former U.S. Olympic gold medalist Michael Johnson, who
Okay.
graced the Jamaican shores for a few days.
Mm.
But let's talk some SosoBone, Trevor.
Yes.
No matter how many international stars run in this inaugural Jamaica meet, I have to wonder if a Shelley Fraser Price or Elaine Thompson Hera or Sharika Jackson or Kishane Thompson, for that matter,
Mm.
is not down to run, will the non-Jamaican diehard track and field fan turn out to at least fill the Grand Slam, the grandstand?
Well, John, if Alfredo turns up, Alfred turns up, I think the Jamaicans will come out and pack the stands. If
Uh,
Miss
Alfred, you said, Trevor?
St. Lucia,
Oh, Julian Alfred.
yes.
Okay, I am, but I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be like
Uh-huh.
at this point. And I have not seen anything that she has signed with that Grand Slam meet yet. But there is still time.
I
But
mean, the reason why I say that, John, is because we were so pleased with her performance at the Paris Olympics.
mhm,
The fact that she was able to put Miss Shakira Richardson in her second place.
mhm.
And the Jamaicans were so relieved that since Chilean and the rest of our people were not there, the Caribbean still carried still carried the torch.
The champion, the gold.
Yes. I think they would, out of respect for her and appreciation, if she turns up, the stadium will be filled.
Well, and the fact that she actually attended high school in Jamaica.
Among other
So,
things. Yes.
yeah, so, at the 3 or 4 years she spent in high school in Jamaica and ran a champ. So, she has a history with
Yes.
Jamaica. Yeah,
Yes.
and she has actually given some credit to Jamaica for her development.
Yes.
Um, but be that as it may, Trevor, Miami has been tapped to host the second of the 4 Grand Slam events.
Uh-huh.
LA is also a host city, but it has not been revealed which city will be the 4th city. And I thought Eugene, so popular for track and field in these United States, I'm kind of wondering how that Eugene has not been named as one of the venues.
But
Anyway,
John, but before you skip along that line, I still have to ask the question, how is it that New York City does not have a real track and field stadium? It's
well, they have Randall's out at Randall's Island there. The track there, and they have had some big meets out there.
yes, but
Um,
it is not really recognized worldwide, so to speak. We
yeah,
don't.
but and it's not really a track. New York is not a track town. New
Right.
York is New York is a professional sports city.
Yes.
You go outside of New York to other states, and they might have a professional team, But college is also major in,
Yes.
in those cities. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And you don't have major college teams here in New York.
Right. Right.
Mm. So, that might be part of, why we don't really have a so-called professional, or rather, we are not a track town.
Okay.
Yeah. Jamaica's Prime Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Miss Olivia Babsy Grange, has confirmed the 45 million Jamaican dollars has been set aside to be distributed to the athletes and other individuals who represented Jamaica at the recent Paris Olympic and Paralympic Games. The minister said funds will be disbursed directly to 66 athletes, one Paralympian, and 21 supporting personnel who made up the Olympic delegation. Remember, I did say that some funds were promised a couple of weeks ago, Trevor.
Well, they must have been listening to you because you remember I was very critical about the lack of visibility of the rewarding our athletes who went to the Paris Olympics, especially when we saw Julian Alfred was getting the keys to the city and the Prime Minister's jacket when she went back home.
Yeah, but I not really, Trevor, because it was announced before the Olympic Games that there would be some kind of remuneration for the athletes and staff returning from the games.
Well,
But no, they are confirmed the dollar figure
uh-huh.
that will be distributed, and as she says, it will be sent directly to the athletes' accounts.
Did they do this for the last Olympics, John?
I really don't remember.
And that is why we were so critical because
And that-
because
because
of
I
the
think
lack
this
of
might be the
visibility.
first time. I think this might be the first time that they have decided to celebrate our Olympians after the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
And going forward, every 4 years, there will be a celebration of the Olympians, from what I understand.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Minister Grange also said the junior athletes who competed at the World Athletics Under 20 Championships in Peru will also receive gift vouchers totaling $760,000. Me,
$1,000, is that US dollars, John?
no, Jamaican dollars. Dollars. Meanwhile,
Lunch money.
well, Meanwhile, Jamaica's under 20 track and field triple jump world record holder Jaden Hibbert has been named by World Athletics as one of the 3 finalists for the 2024 Men's Rising Star Award. His competition will come from Italy's under 20 long jump world record holder Mattia Ferlani and the Netherlands' Niels Laros, who broke the world under 20 1,000 meter record. The winner of the award will be named December 1st.
Okay.
Jump into cricket. I just want to remind our listeners that Cricket Hall of Famer Len Chambers, his book entitled Through the Years, My Life in Cricket, is still available on Amazon, and you can get it in hardcover also. Couple of changes to the West Indies squad for the remaining 3 one-day internationals against England at the Darren Sammy Stadium with Game 3 tomorrow. Shamar Springer replaces the injured Andre Russell, while Alzari Joseph, whose 2-game suspension is over, replaces Shamar Joseph. So the full squad is Robman Powell, captain, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, Shimron Hetmeyer, Terrence Hines, Shea Hope, Akil Hussain, Alzari Joseph, Brandon King, Evan Lewis, Gudakesh Moti, Nicholas Puran, Sherfane Rutherford, Romario Shepard, and Shamar Springer. Captain Robman Powell is hoping his top order batsmen can produce more runs over the next 3 games to give the West Indies team a realistic chance of winning the series from 2 games down. Cricket West Indies Super 50. Let me just back up. On Sunday, Jamaica Scorpions trounced the combined campuses and colleges by 128 runs. Scorpions 289 for 8 from 50 overs. The combined campuses 161 from 38 overs. On Monday, Barbados Pride in an 8-run Duckworth-Lewis win over the Windward Volcanoes. Pride 239 for 9 from 46 overs, and asked to get 246 from 39 overs. Volcanoes scored 237 from the 46 overs. Guyana Harpy Eagles by 2 wickets over West Indies Academy. Eagles 204 for 8 from 46.4 overs. Academy 200 in 45.5 overs. Yesterday, the Jamaica Scorpions and Trinidad and Tobago Red Force game was abandoned without a ball being bowled.
Really?
You remember that essay? Rain no play.
and everybody get paid, right?
You're asked to write an essay.
Everybody
And
got
it's
and
on
everyone
cricket.
and everyone got paid.
Well, there's a game that's in progress right now, and I'm just checking. It's a beautiful thing. This called a cell phone.
Oh yes, technology.
You can check. But there's a game in progress now at the Brian Lara Cricket Stadium between the combined campuses and colleges and the Windward Volcanoes. Volcanoes scored 307 for 7 from 44 overs, and the combined campuses are now 58 for 2 after 13 overs.
Okay.
Football, big date for Jamaica Reggae Boys tomorrow, hosting the USA in the opening leg of the Nations League quarterfinals. The second leg will be played on the 18th in St. Louis, Missouri. Jamaica coach Steve McLaren has named his squad for the 2 games. Leon Bailey and Shamar Nicholson are back in the squad, and joining Bailey and Nicholson up front are Michael Antonio, Kaheem Dixon, Romario Williams, Reynaldo Cephas, and Demario Gray.
But
Queen's
John,
Park.
sorry about that, but Jamaica have a good record against the US at home,
Since this coach has taken over, Trevor, they have played what 2 or 3 games so far at the National Stadium, and all the games are drawn. Usually, the National Stadium, which was dubbed the office during the 1998 World Cup drive, we not seem to be winning games at home. Win away from home, but for some reason we have not been able to put the ball in the net to win games at home. But hopefully, that will change tomorrow.
It is strange. It is strange that the game that has the biggest net.
Well, there's also an obstacle standing in front of that net. On a goalkeeper.
I mean, you have hockey, and then you have the one they call basketball. And the basketball has a very small net, John.
Yeah.
The scores is mind-boggling. Okay. And soccer has the widest net. And it just seems like they can't get the bigger the net, they can't get the ball into it.
Well, I guess it's one of the variances of life.
Yes.
Anyway, Trevor, Queen's Park Rangers holding midfielder Isaac Hayden has gotten his maiden Reggae Boys call-up. Joining him in the midfield are Joel Latibadier K-Roy Anderson, Casey Palmer, and Tyreek McGee. In defense is Damian Lowe, Ethan Pinnock, Richard King, Tavon Gray, Dexter Lembikisa, Mason Holgate, Deshaun Bernard, Amari Bell, and Greg Leach. While the goalkeepers are the captain, Andre Blake, Jamal Waite, and Shaquan Davis. Reggae boy Bobby Reed will miss the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal tie against the U.S. After picking up an Achilles injury in the Leicester City Cup loss against Manchester United last week. Leicester coach Stephen Cooper calls the injury a nasty wound that has forced Reed to miss training sessions since the injury. But, you know, Trevor, that game that's been the return game in St. Louis, I wonder if Jack Warner was still the CONCACAF president, if that return game against the U.S. would be played in St. Louis, Missouri. I think it would have a better, probably Jack might have said, no, that game has to be played in a city where there is a Caribbean population.
Yeah, but even in the southern cities of Miami or Atlanta, you know,
Yeah.
they have pretty much led the league in attendance. Okay,
Yeah, and
you know,
there's a Caribbean population in those areas.
yes, but
I remember 98 World Cup, that crucial qualifier against the US here.
mhm.
And I think the US wanted to take the game out into the boondocks.
Yes, because
And Jack said, no, Washington.
and that's when and that's when they dismissed the US.
Well, the game actually ended in a 0-0 draw.
But they knocked the US out of the
Well,
event.
and towards the end of that game, and I thought we should have gotten a penalty late in that game, but the referee saw otherwise.
Well, I guess he wanted to
But
get unfair.
you know,
Maybe if it was in Jamaica, he would have gotten a penalty.
well, you never know. Maybe
You know, we have a Jamaican that says that, "Don't know who the fright the dog," right?
ghosts know who for frightened. Eh? I tell you, but you know, Trevor, this one I don't understand. The former president of a Turkish football club has been sentenced to 3 years and 7 months for intentionally wounding a public official, and the club is upset.
about his sentence or about his wounding?
About the sentence. In December 2023, Farouk Koka, who was president of club Ankaruguku, punched referee Halit Umet Mila in the face following a 1-1 draw with Rizespor, leaving the referee with a fractured eye socket. Ankaruguku's chairman, Ishmael Mert Pirat, alleges no disgraceful crime had been committed and accused the court of succumbing to public opinion. Ankaruguku was fined £54,000 sterling and ordered to play 5 home games without fans. But you know, had the injuries to the referee been more severe, I wonder if the club would have reacted in the same manner. Suppose the injury had caused him to lose his life.
Well, you know, in some of those places, you know, it's really the oligarchs who own those type of teams, you know. I mean, just like in England, you know, you have to call those guys who owns Liverpool and those other teams, you have to call them like dukes because of the statue that they hold in those cities. Okay.
The oil money don't spoil, you know, Trevor.
Okay.
Oil money don't spoil. Anyway, let's move along to some Jamaica schoolboy football. You know, they're into the quarterfinal round now. And in the Costa Cup, Glenmore defeated McGrath 4-1. Glenmore actually came from behind 1 goal down to defeat McGrath 4-1 yesterday. And the games today, Central High takes on Ocho Rios, Gavi Maceo plays Monroe, and Fromtech plays St. Elizabeth Technical. Manning Cup, the big one, Jamaica College 3, Kingston College 1.
Oh.
Tivoli defeated the defending champions, Mona, 3-1. That was a big upset. Heidel, 2-0 over St. Catherine, and Campion 2-0 over Excelsior. And the Tivoli, interesting 3-1 over Mona. Kingston College just defeated Tivoli 5-0 last week.
Wow.
You know, and so, you know.
Mona must be lower down on the totem pole.
No, Mona are the defending champions,
Yeah,
and their top 2 win again to defend the title this year.
But they just lost to a team that was beaten 5-love last week.
Well, you know, folks were expecting KC to beat JC too, but following that 5-0, and they lose 3-1.
Okay.
So, you know, it's interesting. Manning Cup, of course. Well, moving on to Jamaica Premier League results from last week. Portmore 1-0 over Humble Lion. Racing 1-0 over Chapelton Maroons. Mount Pleasant 3-1 over Harbour View. Cavaliers squeezed by Veer United 2-1. Montego Bay United also 2-1 over Dunby Holden. Waterhouse 3-1 over Malines United. And Arnett Gardens another 2-1 score over Tivoli Gardens. Going into this weekend, the top 6 teams in the Jamaica Premier League are Portmore, Montego Bay United, Waterhouse, Mount Pleasant, Cavalier, and Arnett Gardens. Games this weekend, Racing plays Montego Bay United, Harbourview takes on Cavalier, Veer United plays Tivoli, Portmore against Arnett Gardens, Waterhouse takes on Humble Lion, Dunby Holding plays Malines United, and Chapelton Maroons at home to Mount Pleasant. Going way across the ocean now to Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Liberia 1-0 over Togo, Chad, and Sierra Leone in a 1-1 stalemate. Namibia and Cameroon in a goalless draw, and a full slate of games scheduled for tomorrow. Madagascar plays Tunisia, Lesotho takes on Central Africa Republic, Rwanda plays Libya, Benin against Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea against Algeria, Niger plays Sudan, South Sudan against Congo, Burundi plays Malawi, and Burkina Faso plays Senegal. England football captain Harry Kane is not a happy camper following the withdrawal of 9 players from the English squad ahead of their 2 UEFA Nations League games. Tomorrow against Greece in Athens, and Sunday against Ireland at Wembley. The games are interim manager Lee Carswell's final games before Thomas Tuchel takes charge in January. The players who have withdrawn are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Aaron Ramsdale, and Levi Colwill. Gerard Branthwaite, who was called up as a replacement, is the 9th player to withdraw. And Captain Harry Kane feels it should be country before club.
So he's actually playing, but he doesn't have the supporting cast he's looking for.
Well, the 9 players have withdrawn from the squad, so they have to be replaced. And I don't know what's the reason for their withdrawal. It has not been revealed, but, you know, sometimes in these FIFA windows that where international games are being played. If you have a little niggle coming out of a league game, then sometimes the club, or you might say to the club, no, I don't want to go. I need to rest and get my injury
Yes,
healed before the next set of league games, because really it's the league where they earn their money.
that's right.
you
That's
know,
right.
so you can talk about country come first and all that stuff,
Mm.
but if it's a league where you're earning your dollars.
It's the money talks and country walks.
Hmm. Anyway, Trevor, English Premiership results from the weekend also. Brentford 3-2 over Bournemouth, Fulham 2-0 over Crystal Palace, West Ham and Everton in a 0-0 stalemate. Wolves 2-0 over Southampton, Brighton 2-1 over Manchester City. That's kind of an upset. They have lost, Manchester City has lost now, 4 games in a row.
Mm.
That doesn't happen.
No, no, not,
You
not,
know,
not,
that doesn't
not,
happen.
not to Man C or Man U. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, Liverpool 2-0 over Aston Villa. Manchester United win a game, 3-0 over Leicester. Newcastle 3-1 over Nottingham. Ipswich 2-1 over Tottenham. And Chelsea and Arsenal in really a great game in a 1-1 stalemate.
Mm-mm.
Since Eric Ten Hag's departure from Manchester United as the manager, and with interim manager coach Ruud van Nistelrooy at the helm, Manchester United has not lost a game. They have defeated Leicester City 5-2 in an England League Cup game,
Mm-hmm.
drew 1-1 with Chelsea in a Premier League game,
Mm-hmm.
defeated PAOK 2-0 in a UEFA Europa League game, and on Sunday again defeated Leicester City 3-0. The
Well,
new
well,
coach,
well, any new coach that is coming on is got a hard act to follow. The interim.
well, he is coming to the club with a lot of credits, I might say, who
Mm-hmm.
is Ruben Amorim, and he actually took reins of the club on Monday.
Okay.
And his first game with the club, I think it's is a Premier League game um next week, either Saturday or Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
after the European League games are over.
Okay.
Netball news: no improvement by the Jamaica Sunshine Girls in the 2024 Fast Five tournament that was played in New Zealand. They finished dead last for the second consecutive year. Young girls were beaten all their games, 39-19 by New Zealand, 35-15 by England, 33-25 by South Africa, 56-39 by Australia, and 43-26 by Uganda.
John,
Australia,
they must have had quite a turnover in personnel, John.
it's a young squad. This is we call it, I call it a young squad, inexperienced squad.
Okay.
They, and I'll get to that too, Trevor, because Australia defeated New Zealand 34-30 in the championship game, and Uganda defeated South Africa 46-42 for third place. The A major setback, of course, for the Sunshine Girls, and this is for the big team now,
Yes.
who are scheduled to play England in the Horizon Series. Captain Janelle Fowler Nemhard has developed an injury that has forced her out of the series. The nature of the injury has not been disclosed. Anyway, she has been replaced by Romelda Aiken George, who meets her in England. The So they play 2 games in England, Trevor, and then they come to Jamaica to play 2 games. I call it the Horizon Series. It's a four-game test series, so to speak.
Yes.
But we need to win the series. Right now, England are ranked 3rd in the world, and Jamaica ranked 4th.
Right.
Win that series, and we probably skip over England in the ranking.
True, true, true. True, true, true.
We move on to golf. Congratulations to Trinidad and Tobago's Benjamin Martin, winner of the 57th Jamaica Open Golf Championships at the Trial Golf Course in Sandy Bay. He shot a 7 under 209 over the 3-day championships. The runner-up spot went to Canada's Jacob Lehman, who shot a 6 under 210. In tennis news, what a way to finish the year. As Coco Gauff won the WTA final. After disappointments in the 4 Grand Slams of 2024, Coco Gauff defeated Olympic champion China's Qinwen Zheng 3-6, 6-4, 7-6 in the World Tennis Association final in Saudi Arabia, taking home the $4.8 million prize money check.
Well, maybe she was saving her energy for the final, John.
Well, it is the largest check in the history of women's professional tennis. It also takes her over the 20 million mark in earnings. She is also the first male or female born in 2004 to surpass the 20 million mark in earnings, Trevor. Congratulations to Coco Gauff. It is also her first major title since winning the U.S. Open in 2023.
How much did she make to win the U.S. Open, John?
I don't remember, Trevor.
Listen, that's because it was so insignificant we don't even remember.
Well, they said this is the largest purse that a woman has taken home in tennis.
We won't forget that she made 4 million plus in this one, John.
4.8.
Okay.
And some change. I just cut it off at 4.8.
Okay.
Yeah. In rugby news, Trevor, the USA Hawks defeated Jamaica women rugby team, the Warriors, 44-0 in the semifinal at the University of North Florida rugby field last week in Jacksonville, Florida. A disappointed Jamaica women's head coach, Andrew Dixon, said the result was not what was expected, of course, and they just have to go back to the drawing board.
They just couldn't put the ball into the net, huh?
Just couldn't put the ball in the net, Trevor. Meanwhile, the Hawks lost 40-8 to the Canadian Ravens in the final. So the Canadian Ravens have moved a step closer to Women's Rugby League World Championship. Canada currently ranked 8th in the world, and they will represent the region. They represent the region, Trevor, in the next year's inaugural World Series.
Canada seems to be getting a little more headlines than just playing ice hockey, John.
Yeah, true. Let's talk some boxing to close the shop, Trevor.
Yes.
I dropped the kick as we close with boxing. This Wednesday evening, 58-year-old former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson getting into the ring with 27-year-old Jake Paul on Friday at the Dallas A&T Stadium. Tyson last stepped into the ring in a professional bout in 2005, while Paul has won 10 of his 11 fights. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has sanctioned it as a pro bout. They also say all the fighters on the card will be assessed medically tomorrow. You want to lace up again, Trevor?
Well, 2004, that's 20 years ago, John.
Well, he's lacing up.
That's 20 years ago, John. But I'll tell you this, in his workout, he seems to be carrying, packing a good punch.
Well, he always did. But Trevor, I guess that's where we draw stumps on John Sports Corner for another Wednesday afternoon here on the SosoBone Media Network. Folks, remember, go to Winner's Circus store in the SosoBone shop and pick up available merchandise of your choice, as well as the great Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. Spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. That is a great coffee, the best in the world. Enjoy the rest of the week, family.
Thank you so much, John. And again, to our viewers, again, we'd like to express our thanks for the support you have been given to this platform, as well as the general Sosofat Media Network and Sosofat TV, SosoBone Media Network, and Sosofat TV, SosoBone Radio. And again, sharing the great news that in 8 weeks since we launched John Sports Melbourne Sports Corner on Sosofat TV, along with our other television programs, we have had over 4 million views. And in that span, I've also picked up over 10,000 subscribers. So again, I'm going to ask you, please share this platform with your contacts, your friends, and your family. It is all about us representing you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Walk good.
Thank you.